The entire baseball world stopped when Cody Bellinger and Shohei Ohtani found themselves at the center of a moment nobody expected. Two players connected by Dodgers history were suddenly on opposite sides of a heated baseball battle. Cameras followed every movement. Fans analyzed every reaction. And within minutes, a simple competitive moment became a massive discussion about rivalry, respect, and the pressure of being a superstar. For Cody Bellinger, this matchup carried a special meaning. Before Shohei Ohtani arrived in Los Angeles, Bellinger was one of the most recognizable faces of the Dodgers organization. He was the young superstar who represented the future of the franchise. His powerful swing, elite defense, and emotional style made him one of the most popular players in Los Angeles. Bellinger's rise was unforgettable. He arrived as a talented young player. He became an all-star. He won the National League MVP award. He helped define an important era of Dodgers baseball. Fans watched him grow from a rookie into one of the biggest names in the sport. He was not just another player wearing the uniform. He was someone many supporters believed would represent the Dodgers for years. But baseball can change quickly. Injuries affected Bellinger's performance. Questions began surrounding his future. The player who once seemed unstoppable suddenly faced uncertainty. Eventually, his time in Los Angeles came to an end, and a new chapter began. Then Shohei Ohtani arrived. The arrival of Ohtani completely changed the conversation around the Dodgers. He was not simply another superstar signing. He was a global phenomenon, a player capable of dominating as a hitter while also changing games as a pitcher. His historic contract brought enormous expectations and immediately made him the new face of Los Angeles baseball. For many fans, Ohtani represented a new beginning, but for others, his arrival reminded them of the player who came before him. One superstar left, another superstar arrived, and whenever their paths crossed, people naturally looked for a deeper story. That is why every matchup between Bellinger and Ohtani carried extra attention. The game itself was already intense. Both teams understood what was at stake. Every pitch mattered. Every at-bat had the potential to change the outcome. Bellinger was trying to prove that he remained one of baseball's most dangerous players. Ohtani was trying to continue proving why he was considered one of the greatest talents the sport had ever seen. Then the controversial moment happened. The play developed quickly. The ball moved into action. Players reacted immediately. And suddenly, confusion spread across the field. From one side, it looked like a normal competitive baseball moment. From another side, it appeared to be something that deserved more attention. Fans watching from home immediately began slowing down the footage, analyzing every movement, and searching for answers. And that was when cameras captured Bellinger's reaction. His body language changed. His frustration became visible. The intensity of the moment increased. For a player known for his passion and competitiveness, the reaction was not completely surprising. Bellinger has always played with emotion. He has always shown how much winning matters to him. But because the player on the other side was Shohei Ohtani, the moment became much bigger. Fans immediately started asking questions. Was Bellinger upset about the play? Was there frustration from the history between the two Dodgers eras? Was this simply two elite competitors fighting for an advantage? Social media moved faster than the game itself. Clips appeared everywhere. Fans created different explanations. Some supporters defended Bellinger, saying he was simply showing the competitive fire that made him successful. Others believed Ohtani was being unfairly targeted because every controversial moment involving him receives extra attention. The debate became larger than the actual play. And that is what happens when superstar athletes are involved. Every reaction becomes a headline. Every emotion becomes a story. Every disagreement becomes a potential rivalry. But inside the game, players understand something different. Baseball is emotional. Players spend their entire lives competing at the highest level. They train every day, sacrifice everything, and put enormous pressure on themselves. In those moments, frustration can appear quickly. That does not always mean personal hatred. It does not always mean disrespect. Sometimes it simply means two competitors care deeply about winning. Ohtani's response showed why he has earned so much respect throughout his career. While emotions around him increased, he remained focused. He did not allow the moment to become bigger than the game. He did not create unnecessary drama. He returned his attention to baseball. That has become one of the defining characteristics of Ohtani's personality. He understands pressure. He understands attention. And he understands that the strongest response often comes through performance. The contrast between the two players became the biggest talking point. Bellinger showed emotion. Ohtani showed control. One represented passion. The other represented patience. But both represented the highest level of competition. As the game continued, teammates from both sides watched carefully. Coaches understood that emotional moments can escalate quickly. One argument can become a larger confrontation. One misunderstanding can create unnecessary consequences. Everyone knew the importance of keeping control, because in baseball, especially when superstars are involved, a small moment can become a massive story. And that is exactly what happened. The cameras captured a reaction. Fans created a controversy. The media began asking questions. But the biggest question remained unanswered. Was Cody Bellinger truly upset with Shohei Ohtani? Or was the baseball world turning a simple competitive moment into something much bigger than it really was? The answer would come from what happened after the game, when both players finally had the opportunity to explain their side of the story. The conversation surrounding Cody Bellinger and Shohei Ohtani continued long after the final out was recorded. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Was there truly a problem between the two stars? Or had the intensity of the moment created a story much bigger than reality? For Bellinger, the situation represented something familiar. During his time with the Dodgers, Bellinger experienced both the highest moments and the most difficult challenges of professional baseball. He became an MVP, a fan favorite, and one of the faces of the franchise. But he also experienced injuries, criticism, and the pressure that comes with trying to maintain superstar status. That experience explains why some fans understood his reaction. They saw a competitor who cared. They saw a player who wanted to win. They saw someone who was emotionally invested in the outcome. But when the situation involved Shohei Ohtani, the conversation became much larger. Ohtani is not just another player in Major League Baseball. Every moment involving him receives worldwide attention. His impact goes beyond statistics. He represents a new era of baseball, where fans from different countries follow the sport because of his unique talent and personality. That is why even a small disagreement can become a major storyline. The pressure surrounding Ohtani is unlike what most players experience. Every at-bat is analyzed. Every reaction is recorded. Every decision becomes a discussion. But one of the reasons he has handled that pressure so well is because of his approach. Ohtani rarely allows outside noise to control him. He does not chase controversy. He does not respond emotionally to every criticism. Instead, he focuses on preparation and performance. That approach was visible again after the Bellinger situation. Rather than turning the moment into a public argument, Ohtani kept his response simple. He understood that competition creates emotional moments. He understood that players sometimes react strongly because they care about the game. And most importantly, he understood that respect can exist even during intense competition. That was the part many fans missed. The story was not about two players who disliked each other. It was about two great players trying to win. Bellinger and Ohtani represented different chapters of Dodgers history. Bellinger represented the era where young talent developed into a superstar inside Los Angeles. Ohtani represented the new era of global attention and unprecedented expectations. Both players changed the franchise in different ways. Both players created unforgettable memories. And both players understood the responsibility that comes with being the face of a major organization. The media and fans often create rivalries because they make sports more exciting. Supporters want dramatic stories. They want heroes and villains. They want emotional moments that create unforgettable headlines. But real athletes often see things differently. Inside the clubhouse, players understand the difference between competition and personal conflict. A player can challenge another player. A player can disagree with a decision. A player can show emotion and still maintain respect. That is what makes the greatest rivalries special. The best competitors do not hate each other. They push each other. They force each other to improve. They create moments that make the sport better. The Bellinger and Ohtani discussion also reminded fans of a bigger truth about modern baseball. The sport is filled with incredible talent, but the personalities behind the players are what create emotional connections. Fans remember numbers, but they remember stories even more. They remember the player who inspired them. They remember the moments that made them feel something. And that is why situations involving stars like Bellinger and Ohtani become so powerful. They represent more than one game. They represent different journeys, different challenges, different paths to greatness. After everything settled, the biggest lesson from the controversy was not that one player was right and the other was wrong. It was that two elite athletes showed why they belong among baseball's best. Bellinger showed the passion of a competitor who refuses to back down. Ohtani showed the discipline of a superstar who understands the importance of staying focused. One played with emotion, the other responded with calm, but both showed the same desire: to compete, to win, to be the best. And that is why fans continue watching these matchups. They are not only interested in the final score, they are interested in the moments between the lines, the reactions, the decisions, the emotions that reveal what makes these athletes special. Because baseball is not only about what happens when the ball is hit, it is about the human stories behind every moment. The story of Cody Bellinger and Shohei Ohtani was never simply about a disagreement. It was about two superstars connected by the same organization but separated by different eras. It was about how quickly competition can create emotion and how quickly respect can return once the moment passes. In the end, the cameras captured a heated moment. The fans created a debate. The media created headlines. But the reality was much more simple. Two great players competed. Two great players wanted to win. And baseball was once again reminded why superstar matchups create unforgettable moments. So the question remains, who handled the situation better? Was Cody Bellinger right to show his frustration? Or did Shohei Ohtani's calm response prove why he remains one of the most respected athletes in the world? Let us know your thoughts. That is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to subscribe for more Shohei Ohtani stories, Dodgers updates, MLB rivalries, and the biggest moments from Major League Baseball.